that's an outlier. Every now and then they're going to make a blooper like that.
Yep.
You know, they'll miss a tackle count or they'll miss a knock on. I don't worry about those sort of things. That's human nature. The one I worried about was where he got clocked on the chin in front of the post, 1 point behind. He gets clocked on the chin.
Harry Grant.
Yeah, and the system was put under the test, right? The whole system that all year has been penalising, sin binning, charging and suspending players all year, all right, in your biggest game, in your biggest moment, 1 point behind in front of the post.
Yep.
They couldn't pull the pin. If you can't give the penalty there under the process that you've used all year, then stop giving it week to week to week.
There was one a few minutes earlier, a hip drop tackle.
Of course there was.
Very,
a hip drop.
Look, now that was
100%.
To me, that was a penalty all year.
100%.
They called that all year, and they didn't call it.
Penalty, sin bin,
in front of the
charge,
post.
suspension.
In front of the post.
There are people that have been penalised, sin binned, charged, and suspended are looking at it and saying, "What the hell?"
Are they taking the circumstances, been a sudden death final into?
I've always said, and this was taught to me a long, long time ago. When you're going to change rules, imagine it's 3 minutes to go in a grand final and it happens in front of the post. Do you penalise it then? Whether it's a strip, whether it's a high tackle, whether it's any sort of tackle or what have you. If you can't give the penalty then the rule is bad, and the rules should not be right throughout the season. What we have is a certain standard right throughout the season that gets thrown away for Origin and it gets thrown away for finals. All right, and what we've got is players that have been penalised, charged, suspended, sin binned during the season. You get your biggest moment there. Nana,
100%.
nothing. They didn't do it.
Games too.
So the system failed.
Well, we had one for the Sharks. That one, the same player, Sam Walker on Trindle, hit him straight in the head. Now every day of the week, all year, that's a sin bin. That's a sin bin. A penalty and a sin bin. There's nothing. But semi-finals are ref different than the normal rounds.
But what I'm saying is, that's how it should be refereed all year.
Yeah, I agree with you.
Right?
I agree with you.
We get way too pedantic and way too sensitive during the course of the season. All right. We get way too pedantic there, even around the concussions. We get way too pedantic there, and then come finals time, well, we won't touch that. We'll just let that go.
Especially when the game's on the line.
Games on the line. So if you can't give the penalty then, when a kicker goal is going to win the game for either side in a big game, then stop giving it during the course of the season. Don't come up and make excuses about process and all that. The bottom line is those two instances, the hip drop and that penalty, have been penalised, sin binned, charged and suspended all year.
But look what we've bred into the game too by doing this, is Harry on his knees, waiting for the bunker to look at it. Yeah. Going,
why? Because the process has been bad all year. He knows.
He's fine.
He knows.
But he's just there going, why not?
He knows. Now, let me say this. If that was the first 3 minutes of the game and the score was 0-0, what do you think the decision was?
Penalty.
Penalty. 1,000,000%.
No doubt.
1,000,000%. If the hip drop was in the first 5 minutes of the game at 0-0, penalty, sin bin, charge.
Yep. So, but this 100%. Is what we've encouraged players to lay down now. Why would you not lay down?
So does that come back on the on-field referee or the bunker? Because
comes back on the whole system, mate. Comes back on the whole system because the system is too pedantic.
Well, see, the thing, who made that decision? Because it was pretty clear he got hit in the head. Harry Grant stays down, he got hit in the head, but then the referee stood there and said, get up.
That's going to decide the game.
The referee stood there and said, I actually take my hat up to the referee because he made a decision, said, get up, stand up. So that
I'm happy with that.
I'm happy with his decision.
That's not the way we do it all year.
That's the only problem.
It's not the way we do it all year.
That's the only problem. So the referee thinks he should get up and play the ball. Maybe they should go back to that system. Get up and play the ball. Don't go to the bunker on every single thing like we do.
But then all of a sudden he's positioned as referee for the grand finals up in there.
Well, I think his position may be up because of the first Harry Grant incident. Maybe not that one.
I don't worry about those ones. Those ones are going to happen. I know it looks bad. Those ones happen. All right, that's human error. That's human error. The other two, that was process. That's process that has been established all season, and then in their biggest game, in their biggest moment.
But the process isn't Ashley Klein's fault. The process is a process put in place 100%. By the bosses.
It's not Ashley Klein's fault.
That's what I mean. By the boss. So why are we talking about Ashley Klein and he's in danger of missing the grand final?
Well, no.
Isn't that
who else?
They never announced till the week off.
Okay, right.
But yes, so we'll find out.